Okay, so today's the first day we are recording. This will save, and as soon as I have time today, I will put the link for the YouTube video up here. It will probably go right here, and I'll just say the link for today's. That way, if you have any questions, you can go back and rewatch the lesson. So it's important that we do our best at our homework, and this is one of our resources to help you. First things, let's look at our warm-up. So, number one, perform the indicated operation. I should have given you guys a couple things, but who did they ask for?
A different paper.
They asked for you, did they?
Yeah,
Okay.
they got to that.
Oh, they messed up. Okay. So, indicate the operation 12 divided by 1.5. What would have been your answer? Did anyone end up getting it?
8.
Very good. Our correct answer would have been 8. Number 2, Julia ran 10 2/3 a mile last week and 8 5/6 miles this week. How many more miles did she run last week? Remember, if we're comparing, I'm going to show my work right here. It's like I'm subtracting 10 2/3 minus 8 5/6. What's the first thing if you are adding or subtracting fractions that you must do? Common denominator. Yeah, so not equal, but common denominator. So I see a 3 and a 6. I'm going to make 2/3. If I times it by 2 over 2, I get 4/6. Then we subtract. Can I do 4/6 minus 5/6? This one had a lot of problems to it. You have to regroup. Instead of 10 holes, I have 9 holes. And that one hole that I'm borrowing was worth 6/6. So 6/6 plus 4/6 gave us 10/6. Then 10 minus 5 is 5/6. And 9 minus 8 is 1 and 5/6. Okay. A lot of review that you had to be doing there. Number 3, evaluate the expression b cubed when b equals 4. Huge hint, you're going to be doing this today. So I'm going to just show this setup though. So if I put 4 in for b, and I have 4 cubed, what's that mean I'm doing? Aiden?
You're multiplying 4 by itself.
Very good. I'm multiplying 4 by itself 3 times. 4 times 4 times 4. I show all my work and I say 4 times 4 is 16 times 4. And then 16 times 4. You should show your work for me. And get 64. Okay? I will be giving you guys calculators. I have a whole bunch of them right now. And I will be letting us do it, but you still have to show me the work. Like, I still, instead of just going 4 cubed and you put it in and say the answer is 64, I want you to break it out for me. Number 4, the number of weeks it takes you to read a novel is given by n divided by p, where n is the total number of pages in the novel, and p is the pages read per week. How long will it take you to read a 340-page novel if you read 85 pages a week? So we'll be doing 340 divided by, is that a 35 or an 85? 85? Divided by 85. Ooh, did you guys use a calculator?
No, I used my head.
I've got one down here.
I used my head.
Very impressive.
I use my brain.
Alright.
I just meant to.
What did you get?
I got 4 weeks.
Very good. I like that you did that.
Thank you.
Alright. So, let's go ahead and get started with today. So what we'll do every day, like I said, it's so important that we come in and you guys get started on this warm-up activity right away. That bell rings, we're getting started grading our homework. Then, we're going to look at our today's goals. So, every single day we'll have someone read our goal out, what we're working on. So, someone reading the learning goal for 20 minutes. All right, Kate, will you read it out loud?
Yes. I understand the different
ways of
Representing.
representing numbers. I can apply the algebraic order of operation. I can solve problems in math and other contents. I can compute fluently.
Very good. So we're going to represent numbers in different ways. We're going to apply the algebraic operations, and we're going to make sure we're doing things fluently, meaning we're going to do it accurately and kind of a lot. Let's start off with this first part. It says, a variable, this is important, a variable is just a letter, this is what makes algebraic. A variable is a letter used to represent one or more numbers, or an unknown number. We don't know what the value is yet. The numbers are values of the variable. In algebraic expression, or variable expression, or variable expression, consists of numbers, variables, and operations. So we see these algebraic expressions, and the first one's pretty important because we're getting to be big mathematicians, and how we write multiplication between a coefficient and a variable is the 5 times an n. The n is our variable. We don't know the value. Well, 5 times n, we can write it 3 ways. You can say 5 and then in parentheses n, because then you do the distribution properly, which means to multiply n. Or you can write 5 with this dot hanging up in the middle. It's like a decimal point, but up in the middle. That stands for multiply. We will not go. We will not do 5 times n because x is what we use for a variable in algebra. X is a very important one. So we will no longer do our multiplication sign like that. If you want to use multiplication, we do that hanging multiplication dot. So 5n, or what you'll see almost every single time in algebra, if you have a number and a variable, you just put them right next to each other and say 5n, and we know that means to multiply. So even if I had multiple variables, 5nb, that means 5 times n times b. Okay? 14 over y means the same thing as 14 divided by y. 6 plus c is our addition. And of course, 8 minus x is subtraction. To evaluate an algebraic expression, substitute a number for the variable, perform the operation, and simplify. Mainly, what's going to happen is if we give you the one like 5n, I'm going to say, I evaluate 5n when n equals 2. Okay, so then you just go in, and if I told you that, you'd say, well, 5n, n equals 2, so 5 times 2, and 5 times 2 is 10. So 5n equals 10 when n equals 2. We're going to work a lot of those today. We're going to start with this one. Everyone should do this note. So it says, evaluate the expression when x equals 3. This is how I want you guys to show your work for me. We talked about this that first day about you must show work. The way we are going to do it is I'm going to substitute 3 in for x. So I see x cubed minus 5. Well, instead of x, I'm going to say 3 cubed minus 5. Aiden told us earlier that the cube meant I'm multiplying the number by itself that many times. So when I write this one out, some of you are going to know 3 cubed in your head. And you're going to say 3 cubed is 27. If you show me that work, you could go ahead and just do this and go 3 cubed is 27, and then I continue to write my problem. So then 27 minus 5. 27 minus 5 is 22, so that is my answer. When I show work for you guys in class, I'm going to probably show mine like this. And I'm going to say, okay, well, this means 3 times 3 times 3. That way, if you make a mistake, I know where it's at. But we got the same thing. Just do not write the answer 22 without showing a couple steps. You have to show me the main steps. Your main step was you broke 3 cubed, you simplified it to 27, and then you did the 27 minus 5. The next one, same thing. I'm going to switch colors. So I'm going to rewrite it as 6. And remember, since the variable is right next to the number, it means we're multiplying. So 6 times 3 plus 2. And I'm going to go ahead and simplify that one first before anything else. 6 times 3 is 18, gentlemen. And we have our 18 plus 2, which gives me 20. So I'm going to come over to the side and put that as my numerator, 20. I still have to come and do my denominator, which was x plus 7, so 3 plus 7, which, pretty simple, equals 10. And then we have to simplify. What is 20 divided by 10?
2.
Our final answer is 2. Trinity.
How did you get 20? Because
Hope I didn't make a mistake. Okay.
6 times
So we had 6x plus 2, and the x is 3. So we went right here. Right there, we did 6 times 3, which was 18. And then I still have the plus 2. So then 18 plus 2 is 20. So that became my numerator. Make sense? Awesome. We're going to end up putting... Oh, we got a couple to do. Expressions using exponents. We've already did 2-3 examples of this, and you guys seem to understand it. It says that power is an expression that represents repeated multiplication of the same factor. For example, 81 is a power of 3 because 81 equals 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And power can be written in a form using two numbers, a base and an exponent. And I think that's important. So I have 3 to the 4th power. This is going to be our base. So if we ever ask you about what is the base number, there it is. It's where we're holding down the ground. This is our power or our exponent. So let's evaluate the power. I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to do number 1 with you, and then I'm going to see you do the next 2. And if we evaluate, so like 9 to the 5th power, that's going to mean, if I break this down, 9 times 9 times 9 times 9 times 9. Huge hint, once you guys start showing me that you understand this completely, when we use a calculator, we have scientific ones, that you'd be able to put 9 to the power of 5 and get your answer. But right now, part of our goal was that we can compute fluently. So, I go ahead and do this. I break it down. 9 times 9 is 81. There's so many ways I can go about this. I could then write 81 times 9 times 9 times 9 and keep breaking it up. Or I could do this right now and do another 9 times 9 is 81. Because with multiplication, remember, you can switch the order any way I want. I'm going to do 81 times 9, which is 729. Because 9 times 1 is 9, 8 times 9 is 72. And then I have 81 times 729, which I should show my work on. 2, 16, 23, 68. Woo, this is getting big. So you should get a final answer of 59,049.
Yeah, that's
Good.
what I got. I just did it
I love it when I check to
I
make
did
sure you guys get the same
89
thing.
then I multiplied 89 and 81 and 81,
Mm-hmm.
and then I multiplied.
And you know, that probably would have been easier. Trinity was saying she did 81 times 81, and then she took that times 9. That's fine as well. You can do it any way you want. Go ahead and do number 2. 2 to the 8th power. I'm not going to show all the work. I'm going to see if you understand it. You follow? What's your laptop? Huh? You don't have one? Okay, well, then you have to be doing this in your notebook. 2 to the 8th power. Okay, let's go ahead and see what do we have. Eden?
The answer is 256.
256. Anything different? Oh, not because the correct answer is 256. It was 2 times 2 times 2. I'm going to show it right here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, one over here, 8 of them. So that's like 4, 4, 4, and 4. I did this as 16, 16, and then 16 times 16 if you want to see all the work. Gives me 256. Okay. Anyone feel a little uncomfortable with exponents? How we do it? It's mainly just time consuming, right? List them out and do your multiplication. We'll see how well we do on them. How much more I gotta go? Okay, good. We're almost to the end and we're right on time. I'm gonna hand out a quick little sheet for you. We will end up putting in into our spiral notebook, but we're going to talk about order of operations. This should be a review for most of us. Everyone understand how we are doing it? If you want to color on this one, I mean, you can make it all pretty before you put it in if you like. That's not my requirement.
Mr. Sissel,
Don't sweat it. I'll go get you another copy. We'll be fine. She got all up in her head. This is syllabus too.
Yep. That's all it is. No problem. Okay, let's look at our PEMDAS. Okay. Order of operations. Have them back together so we can continue getting our work done. Okay, if we're looking at this, it's very easy. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but it says order. Always work. I'm going to put it in red. We always work left to right when we read our expression or any of our problem that we're solving. Left to right. And that's so important when we get to the multiply or divide, or addition or subtraction. It's whichever one of those comes first, left or right. Now I'm going to make sure we understand it. But P, of course, stands for our parentheses. If you want to write the word parentheses out, go for it. I just feel like it's extra writing because the picture's right there. E is for exponents. M, multiplication. D is division. A, addition. S, subtraction. I always remembered PEMDAS because whenever I did order of operations, I always said, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay? Lots of people have different acronyms that they use, and that is totally fine as long as it's something that you remember right away. So, we're going to go ahead and try this. We'll just do a couple examples, and I'm going to show you how when you do your work for order of operations, how you should break it down step by step. So the first thing is when I do this is I'm going to look for parentheses first, left to right. There are none. So then we go back and I go through again for exponents. There are none. This is a step that the majority of students mess up. They then look for multiplication. And then they go look for division. Remember, same step. It's multiply or divide, divide or multiply. So I look, 3 plus 7, no. Oh, going left to right, multiplication happened to come first. So that gets grouped first. So I'm going to rewrite my problem. 3 plus 7 times 6 was 42. Divided by 3. I go back through the steps again. I don't have to check the parentheses or exponents because we've already eliminated it. But now I'm looking for multiplication or division again. There's addition. Oops, you don't see my division sign. Here's division. 42 divided by 3 is?
14.
Very good, 14. I rewrite my problem. All I have left is addition, so to be honest, I don't have to go through my whole PEMDAS. But 3 plus 14 is 17. Alright, let's do the next one. What am I going to do first? Okay, parentheses, and I see some. So left to right, it came up first. 6 times 4 is?
20-something.
24. Rewrite the rest of your problem. Okay, I see there's no more parentheses, so I look for exponents. We have none. What is the next problem I should solve? Caitlin? 24 divided by 3. Division came first. 24 divided by 3 is 8 minus 6 plus 2. Now I have subtraction and addition. Do I do the addition first, 6 plus 2, or do I do 8 minus 6 first?
8 minus 6.
Good. Left to right, add or subtract. 8 minus 6 is, and we're left with plus 2 with the final answer of 4. Alright, take a couple seconds. I'm going to freeze mine. Go ahead. No, I didn't. Go ahead and solve for this last one. done, look up. Did you get the same answer as myself? Gentlemen, no one have to move our spots. Alright, everyone get 12?
Yeah.
Alright. Let's go back into here. And we have 2 last sets to practice. Now, I am going to show you. You do not have to do this. Hold on to this PEMDAS because we're going to glue it in our spiral here in just a second before I give you homework. But you do not have to do this. But anytime I'm doing order of operations, and I still do it today just to keep myself in check, is I see right now I have a big step and I have to use order of operations. I'll go ahead and go to the side and just write out my PEMDAS. So now I'm going to solve this and I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to use parentheses first. And I look for it. Here is my first set of parentheses. 5 plus 8, which is 13. So then I have 3 times 13 minus 2 squared all over 4 plus 3. I look. I have no more parentheses, so I like to go and cross off my parentheses. I then look for exponents. Well, we have one right here. So I'd rewrite my problem to 3 times 13 minus 2 squared is 4. I'm done with exponents. I'm going to go left to right to do multiplication or division. Black right away. 3 times 13 is 39 minus 4 divided by 4 plus 3. I'm looking for multiplication or division again. Well, there's another one right there. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So 39 minus 1 plus 3. No more multiplication division. We only have addition and subtraction left. 39 minus 1 is 38. And so I'm left with 38 plus 3 is
41.
about 40. Just joking, make sure you're paying attention. It is 41. See, that would have been one of those mistakes that I say that will make idiotic. Somehow I almost said 38 plus 3 is 40. Alright, let's just do 2 of these. I only want to do 2 of them, and then we're going to glue this in our spiral notebook, and then you guys can work on your homework. Let's do number 2 and 3. Number 2. 2 times 3 squared plus 4. What am I going to do first? Raise your hand for us so I don't have people shout out so everyone can think. What comes first? The exponent. What is 3 squared? Say that one out loud. 9. So 2 times 9 plus 4. What should we do next? Multiply. 2 times 9 is
18.
plus 4
22.
comes out 22. Nice job. Alright. The reason I want to do number 3, the last one. What am I going to do when I have brackets in parentheses? Aiden?
So you do what's inside the bracket, but first do what's inside the parentheses, then you take that, what you got, and subtract 30 from it, then you would move over into times 2.
Very good. So I'm going to pay attention to the bracket first. That 2 that's on the outside, I'm not really paying attention to it yet. I have to focus on just the bracket and simplify that first. So I look inside the bracket, and I have 30 minus parentheses, is that an 8? 8 plus 13. So I'm still going to do parentheses first. 8 plus 13 is 21. I rewrite everything, and I still got to put my bracket back. 30 minus 21. I still have a bracket, so now I go do it. 30 minus 21 is
19.
9.
What is
19. 19.
what is 30 minus 21?
19.
No, it's 9. The answer is 18, but
9.
that's 9.
And then, if I look at this, what is 2? And then the 2's outside the bracket. What's that meaning I'm doing? Yeah, it means multiplying. I'm doing the distributive property. So then 2 times 9 is
18.
Alright. Before we go any further, will you guys get your spiral notebook out for me? If you did not bring it, you failed at life and you have to bring it tomorrow. For homework, you need to catch up. Open up that cupboard, there might be one in there. Nah, do it in here.
My computer just like crashed.
Say reload page, see if it works. Okay, in our notebook. Boys and girls, we have 7 minutes left. I got a feeling you want to have at least a little bit of time to work. So follow along and I'll give it to you. Real quick, table of contents. I'm going to write down Chapter 1. In Chapter 1, the first thing, the only thing that we have to glue in here is our order of operations. And I'm going to put in parentheses, PEMDAS. And then I always go all the way to this right, and I'm going to write the page number. I'm going to glue this one in. For me, it's going to be my first one that I numbered, page 1. So I will say 1. And when I get my glue stick, messing things up. And then I can glue in PEMDAS. So, 2 things that you're going to have to do. 1, do your table of contents like I just did and glue in your PEMDAS to your spiral notebook. And 2, your homework assignment. Oh, I got one more thing for you to glue in. I'm sorry. And I'll hand out glue here in just a second. This is your homework. There are 15 problems on 1 through 9. Evaluate the expression. Remember, you're just putting this value in for the variable. So it's like 0.8 times A, and A is 7.5. You're going to show your work. I do not just want an answer. Show me the major steps. Okay? That's part of our thing, is that I can compute fluently. I need to see your work. Do all these. You have 3 problems where you're showing the power of an exponent. And then the last 3 is evaluating the expression. Is there not a back? Oh, there is a back. On the back, as I said, I was thinking there was a problem solving thing kind of. On the back, there are just a few more problems with a little story problem that you have to read and solve using order of operations or evaluating the expression. This is due tomorrow. Remember, when that bell rings, get in, start the warm-up activity. When the tardy bell rings, I'm grading homework. If yours is not on ready, you are not prepared for class, and we will be marking it down in your planner, or if you're not sitting in your seat, it is your tardy. We'll grade homework right away, and then we'll start on the next lesson. So, the last thing, I know this says algebra, but I'm going to glue this in the front of my spiral notebook. It's how our grading system works. And I'm going to show this real quick up on the board. The way it works is, let's say today your homework problem was 20 problems, and you got 16 of them correct. So on your paper you said, I got 16 out of 20 correct. You divide your numerator by your denominator,
80%.
or since 20 is an easy number, 100%, each problem's worth 5%, I would have got an 80%. What you will do is you'll look here on the left and say 80%, 71 to 80, I get 8 points on my homework. So when you turn in your homework, you're going to say your score was an 8. In high school, they use a 0 through 10 scale. In middle school, and you guys are still getting middle school for our class, we're going to grade our homework on 10, but when I put it in the grade book, I'm going to put in an 8, and then it's going to automatically be weighted by a third. Because our grading scale is 0, 1, 2, 3. So it will break your 8 down to a third, which is still roughly almost all 3 points. Okay? It's a little confusing, but if you want, use this, and it's really going to be helping you where you're at. If you're getting up here, you're doing very, very well. If your scores are getting down here, you need to pick up the slack and get some help if you need it. Alright? Your homework, you have 2 choices. Bell's going to ring, so I want to make sure I get it to you. You can either, 1, do your homework here, and you can do it on OneNote, or you can come up and get a blank copy. Okay? It's totally up to you for this first week.